actual cloth hanky. Lars's widowed mother Ulrika stood beside them, as tall and thin as her son. She hugged me and said, "I will be with you, Ami, when the winds blow warm and when they blow icily." She had a bit of a Nordic turn of phrase sometimes. Lars and I went to sign the register, followed by Liv and Lars's best friend, Thorstein. He was like a Viking Ed Sheeran with a bright ginger beard and hair. "Fuck me. Imagine being married," said Liv, who didn't do commitment. "Seriously grown up." But I didn't feel grown up. I felt full of hope about growing up and old with him. I gripped Lars's hand as everyone threw pale pink rose petals at us on the steps in the King's Road. Even Liv was moved as she fussed around straightening my white vintage baby doll dress, chosen in homage to the 60s and 70s stars who'd married here before us. We laughed and kissed as the photographer's camera clicked. There were 30 of us at the Bluebird for a raucous lunch, which was way swankier than anywhere any of our friends usually went, but was on my dad. Thor made a speech where the central premise was that Lars was a lucky bastard who was batting way out of his league and made everyone down shots while shouting, "Skål!" Liv's speech was full of stories about how Lars and I had met in midwinter in the most freezing cold basement and how we'd been keeping each other warm ever since. She finished it off with a noisy impression of her listening to us shagging through a thin wall, which made me look at my parents with horror. They were smiling, though, along with everyone else. We drank cucumber-flavoured champagne cocktails that tasted of happiness and danced like teenagers at their first disco. When night came through the windows and the house music slowed, Lars held me close, his smart navy suit now crumpled, and whispered in my ear, "Als Klinge, you and me, forever and ever." Always, Lars. Always. Part 1. Chapter 1, 2017. Lars left me late on a Sunday afternoon in January. He threw a couple of bags into his car and drove off with a puff of smoke that could have been drawn by Walt Disney. I stood at the top of the steps of our North London house as he disappeared around the corner of the road. I felt as if I were looking down at a sobbing 37-year-old brunette, rather than that I actually was her. There was an overwhelming sense that after 10 years, it was just me again. But of course it wasn't. Now I had the kids. I rushed inside and threw cold water over my face at the kitchen sink, drying myself with a tea towel before I opened the door of the playroom. 4-year-old Finn and 6-year-old Tessa were sitting on the sofa, frightened by the rowing and confused by the fact that they were allowed to watch a DVD when the rule was only an hour of screen time a day, and that was when I needed to moan and drink wine. "Is everything okay, Mummy?" Finn asked, walking over to kiss me. "Jemima's coming to my party on Saturday. She's my girlfriend, and so is Tallulah. I'm going to marry both of them." "You can only marry one person," scoffed his sister. "Can't you, Mummy?" "Well," I said. "Except for Henry VIII," said Tess, whose special topic at school this term was the fat monastery-burning Tudor. "When he went off his wives, he chopped off their heads. You could chop off Jemima's head and then marry Tallulah." "But Jemima's got lovely yellow hair," said Finn, clutching me. "You'd still have her hair if she was dead. You could keep her head in a corner. That's enough, Tess." My daughter's current favourite game was burying dolls in graves in the back garden.